So today we're going to be talking about this pickguard that I got off Amazon for 29 bucks, I think it was. It come in a box like this. I already opened it. I'm about unboxing it, but it was very nicely packaged. It was in this. I figured it'd come in like some kind of bubble wrap, throw it in a box, but it actually come pretty nice little pedestal for it. It's pretty durable, pretty heavy. It's not as cheap as I thought it was going to be. Comes with the screws. Now, like I said, I did open this. I've been trying to get the pickguard out of this bag for like 15 minutes because whoever put it in there like shoved it and like shrink the bag. I don't know what's up with it. Like it won't come out of the bag. Like how did they get it in here? Oh my god. Like how did they do this? So I'm just going to tear the bag. I really wanted to save the bag, but can't be greedy. So here is the pickguard. Nice and shiny. It's got protective covers over the pickups and the humbucker. There should be actually a cover over this. That's probably why it's so shiny. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself on the details of this part. I don't know, it's actually pretty nice. I don't know if you can see that, but I didn't tear it off. So it's actually pretty nice. This is actually pretty thick. It almost feels better than a regular Fender pickguard. Now, what I got it for is this build right here. This is my yard sale build. I bought this guitar when I was 16 years old. The neck was shot, the neck was junk. This is a stage guitar. They used to make them in Texas. This is an off-brand of a Fender. The Fender necks do not fit this, so I did have to modify the Fender Squire neck, that is, to fit this body. But I did a pretty good job putting it on. Like I said, I got to get a back piece too, make sure the neck was all lined up, and I wanted to try the cheap pickguard to see how good they really are. So I'm going to go ahead and take the pickguard off this and see how bad the holes don't line up, because this pickguard is off a Fender Squire and I had to drill new holes. So we'll see how this compares to that. So I'll go ahead and take it apart and I'll be back. So even the extra holes that I drilled for the other pickguard, this one don't even line up. It don't even come close to lining up. It doesn't shape the body just right, but I was expecting that because this is not a real Strat or a Squire or anything like that. It might be different for you, but once I get it bolted down, I think it would look pretty good. Get it, straightened up where I want it. There is going to be a little gap here, but believe it or not, with the old neck on this guitar, there was a gap on this guitar anyway. That's just the way it was made. So let's go ahead and bolt it down. I'm not going to wire it up just yet. Let's go ahead and bolt it down and see what it looks like and go from there. Before we bolt it down, let's go ahead and talk about the components in this thing. There's not much of a difference between the Fender stuff. I'm pretty sure the Fender stuff is probably just a hair better, but the wiring is a lot better than the Fender Squire / Strat stock pickguard. As you can see, I did do the back with shielding tape, but it's just a lot more messier than the Amazon one. So I am pretty impressed with how they wired this piece up. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy where I want it. Oh, that's cool. It even comes with the ground wire to go to the back of your bridge. So the only thing you got to do is solder your jacks and then solder the back of your ground wire, which is pretty awesome. Like I said, right now we're just getting it bolted down. And you're probably wondering how I'm making new screw holes. A lot of people take a small drill and drill it out. I don't. I just use it as a wood screw pushed down, so it makes its own hole, so it's tight and firm and it's not been bored out. You can do it the way you want. And one thing I didn't notice about these pickguard screws, they're a little bit bigger. They have like a little bit bigger head, and the screwdriver, the Phillip, is a little bit bigger. So that's no big deal, but I just hold the screw and I push it down until it starts in the wood, and then it just makes its own thread. And you just tighten it down. Now I'm not going to put all the screws in this because I still have to solder the wires. There's no need putting a bunch of screws all the way around it and making new holes until I see what it looks like, the way I like it, and then I'll solder the wires. Now that we got a few screws in, we can go ahead and check it out. It doesn't look too bad. For this not even being for this kind of guitar, I made it look pretty good. Like I said, I do have to paint the headstock yet because this come off of a Fender Squire. The Fender Squire was that color. You're probably wondering what happened to the Fender Squire that this come off of, and why I tore a perfectly good Fender Squire apart that played really good is because the body dried out so bad it busted. It was all cracked, the neck was cracked, and I had this old guitar laying around and it had a bad neck and all this bad stuff on it. I didn't want to build just some kind of normal Strat or have this single pickup, so I wanted to have a humbucker and 2 pickups and do something a little different. Make this my own guitar. I'm not going to sand this finish off and make it my own because it already has a nice paint job on it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and paint this black up here, maybe just sand it off and maybe stain it with something to give it a nice look. And I'll have a $100 guitar I bought from a yard sale that they tried to pawn off on me that was pretty much junk to a nice playing guitar. That should be a nice guitar for me. What do I rate this pickguard at? I'll leave it in the description of the one I got, what I rate it at. I'd rate it a 10. Why a 10? For one, the wiring was thicker than the Fender Squire Strat. It was very nicely routed, very neat. And at the end of this video, stay tuned and you'll see me playing this thing after I get everything soldered up. So here's the guitar. I got it all situated, pickguard on, all the screws in. Looks pretty decent. If you know how to solder, this kit would be perfect for you because you just got to solder 3 wires and it's not that difficult. But if you don't know how to solder, then you're going to run into some problems there. But this is a bolt-on neck. I did redo this so it would fit this guitar. So yeah, this is my yard sale build, and hopefully it turns out a little bit better when I get some more parts for it and a set of strings.